Hello. So we are back. We are back with Twilight 2000. This would be our 15th episode. 15 episodes. I think I said I was planning on going to 20. So this is episode 15. So last one. First off, the standard YouTuber. Thank you very much for being here and coming along with my solo journeys with the variety of games I play. This specific one being Twilight 2000. The adventures of our team, who now comprise Staff, Jane, Doc, and Jack, who is the engineer who's just joined the group. We did have Harrison for a very short period of time, but he has been left behind in the village. And we had the wonderful fluffy dog, Bones McCoy. And Bones McCoy became injured in the last episode and was left behind in the village. Last episode, we full-heartedly two-man raided the village of the Mad King. So the whole session was just that attack on the Mad King's establishment, and then the very sudden retreat when things started to go, not surprisingly, quite badly. Jane went down. I think I might have done a bit of fudging to get Jane back up, but Staff rolled a very clean 2 hits on 1 die for his medical check to get Jane back on her feet, and they all ran. Staff in the process lost his L96 sniper rifle, the British designated sniper rifle. They also dropped their packs and they began to run from the village. The village. So they're legging it away from here. This corresponds to here, which is where the Mad King's base was. They are going to have to try and make it across to here. Now, if they go directly, they can be tracked and they can be found, because what we're going to say is, so Staff will assume someone's coming after them. This was early in the morning. This was the morning shift, and we're still in that morning shift. So this was the morning shift of the 31st of April. So they went in right that first thing in the morning on the 31st of April. And so we are still on the morning shift of the 31st of April. Now, if they just come straight to base, then they're probably going to get tracked. So we might have them attempt to do a bit of evading and spend half the day trying to move ahead of them, which means they're going to be chased. Now, who's chasing them is we have 2 of the hunters were remaining, both of them with hunting rifles. Then we had the 2 civilians. What I will say is that one of the civilians picks up the Uzi and the other one has the pistol, and they are just going to go straight out and chase them down. Now, Staff lost his L96, but we didn't roll to see if Jane's M16 is kept. So I was thinking about that, and I think what we might have, so the L96 I'm assuming doesn't have a strap on it, so that would be easier for Staff to have dropped it to get Jane, but he could have dragged along her M16, which was already damaged. It's got a reliability of 2, so I was thinking we will roll. So what I think I did a stamina roll to say that Staff had the ability to pick up his L96 and he failed. So we might do the same thing. So Jane was back on her feet, but that was outside the settlement. So the rifle would have been dropped inside the settlement. So Staff would need to grab it to go out. So we'll do Staff. It's a shame that Jane's doing it, because Jane's got much higher stats than this. So Staff has a D8 for stamina. If he gets a hit, then he's dragged it. We'll then roll a D6 and see if the rifle took any damage. What did he get? Okay, no. So Staff did not manage to get. Maybe we'll push it. All right, we'll push it. All right. What's Staff on? No, Staff can't push it. Staff's got 1 hit point left. He can't push it. Okay, Jane has lost her M16. Oh man. Okay, she's still got, and they've also dropped their packs, so they don't have their packs either. So basically, Jane is without a weapon. Well, she's got frag grenades, but barring that, she has no weapon. She doesn't have the law anymore. She fired that. She has a knife. Jane has a knife. Staff has his HP 35 9mm. They are going to attempt to escape and evade the hunters who are going to attempt to chase them. We'll do a quick little exchange and then we'll get back to the base and we'll see what happens. So first off, let's do what the weather is. So the weather's what the weather was, which means the weather is good. So we're in good weather. They will head, and both of them will have to make a mobility roll, otherwise they're going to attempt to cover 2 squares, or is that a stamina roll? I think it's a stamina roll. So they're going to attempt to cover 2 squares. They're going to come here and here, and then they're going to go next shift there and there. So this shift, which is morning shift, we're going to attempt to travel 2 squares. Otherwise, we're only going to get 1 square. Let's get a way to mark us on the map. So we're going to first off attempt to move here, and then we're going to attempt to move there. If we successfully, both have to successfully make a mobility check. And then we'll see whether they can track us. Yeah, because we're going to attempt to cover some ground early. We're both, yeah, they're both trained, they're both well fed and everything. So they're going to try legging it. So we have, no, stamina I said, didn't I? D8, D8. So D8, D8 for Staff, gets a hit. So Staff is able to move an extra square. And then we have Jane, which is a D10, D8. She fails, she will push it and gets a hit and no failure. Okay, so they've both managed to cover an additional square, the hex rather. So we are at the moment at the end of the morning shift, hiding in the grass in this 10-kilometer area. Now they're going to attempt to track us. We'll give them a benefit because, so we'll have 2 hunters. They have recon, so a CC, which is a D8, D8. I won't give them a minus, and there's 2 of them, so they get 2 hits. So they successfully track. Now they need to, so they know where we are. They need to make a mobility check, a stamina check, which is C, for all. Hold on, what we got? Stamina, which is strength. What is their strength? Hunters have C, civilians have C. So they're all C. So the 2 hunters, first hunter, no. Second hunter, yes. So 1 hunter goes ahead, the other hunter is lagging behind, and then the 2 civilians, no, no. Okay, so the 2 civilians are lagging behind, and 1 hunter has caught up. And what I will have that hunter is going to attempt to shoot at, is going to take a distant shot at randomly 1 to 3 Staff, 1 to 3, so Staff. He's going to attempt to shoot at Staff, or we could do Staff have a survival roll. Let's do Staff as a survival roll to see if he, oh no, now he knows they're definitely being chased, so we'll do after this, it will be Staff as a survival roll. Range combat, so we're being chased. So basically what's happened is the explosion went off, Jane went in, there was a few seconds of random gunfire, Staff saw Jane go down, so Staff dragged Jane out. Staff had enough time to tend to Jane, get her on her feet, cutting her backpack off of her and ditching his, and then they both legged it. They just ran and ran and ran, and as they're taking a breather in a small copse of trees, hidden in small copse of trees, there is, let's do 2 because 2 rifle shots is more cinematic. Shot rings out and ricochets off of some of the trees, or does it? So the hunter has a range combat BC, which is a D10 D8. We'll drop that to a D8 D8. Missing. So there's a shot that goes off into the trees. That hits Start. Well, no, we'll just have 1 shot. We'll just have 1 shot, which missed. The 1 shot missed. Then we'll have, all right, 1 shot missed. Staff can make a survival. What can Staff make to try a mobility roll? If Staff makes a mobility roll, then he is down on the ground and the guy doesn't get off because it's a hunting rifle would be one shot. Staff would get to so it was a miss. Staff would get to try to maneuver out the way. So we'll give him a mobility check, and if he passes a mobility check, then the guy won't get another shot, and then we'll go into the next shift, which would be midday. Day would be the day shift. Day, yeah. And then day shift would be them running it for the day shift. So we've got day. All right. So staff needs to make a mobility check, and then we'll see if he gets shot, which is a D10, D6. Not that I'm trying to keep staff alive. I don't know what you're talking about. Come on. Yes. So staff successfully dives out the way. All right. Let's give him a D6, D6. Oh, I bet it hits as well. No. Okay. So the hunter knows where they are, which is in this copse of trees. He's in the same hex as they are. The other ones are in the hex behind. So him and the hunters are there. So Jane and staff for the day shift will be attempting to move to here. So all of this time is passing, and we'll have to work out what Doc and Jack are doing back at base. So they're going to attempt to lose the hunter in the trees. So we'll do a mobility check to see if they get to here, and then we'll do a survival check. And maybe they'll try and ambush the hunter if he's on his own. Let's see if the hunter can catch up with them. So first off, we've got Staff and Jane do mobility, do stamina checks for the running. D8, D8 for Staff. Passing, and Jane is a D10, D8. Passing. So they run. They're constantly moving, taking shots from behind, trying to hide behind things, maintaining their stamina, just trying to create some distance and zigzagging around. And now they've gone in through these trees. Now they're attempting to hide in this larger forest, which they know they can get to their base by maneuvering through the forest. We might, for Will, who made a comment a long time ago, make Staff make a survival roll at this point to see if he gets lost in the forest, because they're rushing and they might be able to get lost. But now we've got the hunter who's going to continue tracking them and trailing them. Recon of a CC. Oh, that's 2 hits. He definitely can find them. So he's definitely following. And then his stamina was, what was that? That was that's a C. Okay, that hunter is determined. So we've got the one hunter who keeps tracking them down, who's fired 2 shots, 1 missed. Now all the other hunters are going to have to try and keep up. Maybe they might not be able to. Okay, so they're keeping up and keeping track. And now that hunter is not able to follow, and the other 2 civilians are not able to follow. So basically, we've got one hunter is on their trail, taking pot shots at them. The other 3 hunters are slowly following up behind, but they are now, so they moved one hex, and then they would have moved 1 hex. So they're now a hex behind, and the hunter is now coming to the trees with Staff and Jane. Now, what we could do is Staff might decide that basically they've got a pistol, he's got a hunting rifle, they need to close the distance, and they've both got knives, they could ambush him. So we might set an ambush. So what would that be? Survival roll? If I was DMing, would I say, if they wanted to set an ambush 60, would we make them do a survival roll? Because they're in the woods, which would be the best place, because the guy's coming through, though he's a hunter, so he would get a good, so what we've got, first make an opposed recon roll against your target, modified by any relevant terrain. If you succeed, you automatically get the number 1 initiative card in the first round of combat. An ambush in the same hex as the target, no matter its close or range, gets a +3 modifier. Also, your target cannot block an ambush attack. All right, so we are going to attempt to do a opposed recon. He has recon CC. Staff is going to attempt to set up a trap for this hunter dude to lead him in, and then he and Jane are going to attempt to basically fight him in hand-to-hand combat. I will give the hunter a knife, and he already has close combat of, what's his close combat, is a CD. Let's say, where's the Oracle? We might give him a boost to a CC. If we get a highish black card, it's a CC. It's a 7's a highish. Well, it's mid-level black card. It's mildly dangerous. So this one he's going to have. He's got close combat of a CC. Okay. So first off, we need to do an opposed recon roll with Staff, which is a D12 because he's a smart lad. D10. Staff gets 1 hit, and then the Hunter is a CC. The Hunter gets no hits. So Staff manages to lead Jane ahead, getting Jane to jump over a certain area and hide, and then Staff continues leading forwards and then attempts to step back. You know, I've never done anything like this before in my life, but I've watched and read a lot of stuff. Step back, and then they set an ambush for the Hunter. The Hunter is then tracking them through the forest and manages to, so that's the opposed. Let's see if he can track them. He doesn't track them. Oh, right, so Staff is going to leave an obvious trail. Yes, so the Hunter follows the obvious trail and he's able to track them, whereas he gets into a copse, and that's where Jane and Staff, would Staff just shoot him rather than stab him? No, because shooting him, for all the Staff knows, well, first off they'll watch, then they'll see that there's only one of them, and then I will make Staff make an intelligence check, and if he passes it, he won't shoot, because if he shoots, then they might hear where they are. Yes, so Staff thinks if there's only one of them, there's 2 of us, if I open fire, Staff has the only firearm, then they will know where we are. Instead, he signals to Jane and they jump out to ambush the dude. So we will have a hand-to-hand combat. So we've got Jane and Staff against this dude. So we would have initiative, but we know that Staff and Jane would automatically get the top initiative. So they go, is that what it says? So it's page 60 if you want to look it up. Those people, congratulations. I don't think I said that last session. Congratulations to the 3 winners. Well done for your collecting your prizes. If you already collected them, ambushing is on page 60 of the player's guide. Ambushes can be carried out by a group against a group of targets. The following usual stealth rows. Play with the lowest recon score rows for the attackers. If you succeed, you automatically get the number 1 initiative card in the first round. So we'll have Staff gets number 1, which I'll take number 1 out. So Staff will get number 1, and then we'll see who the others get. So Jane gets number 7, the dude gets number 10. So the guy comes through the bushes, through a copse, steps over a log, being very careful, watching for spores. He's not really paying attention, and at that point, Staff will run out, and so Staff will run out and attempt to do the diving blow thing, which gives him a +2 step. We will let's give Staff a recon. No, he's just going to charge out because he picked a spot on purpose, so he will charge out, which gives Staff a D8, which is a D10, and the guy will use one of his turns to attempt to block. So Staff gets a D10, getting 1 hit, and then the guy is going to attempt to block with his CC, which is D8. Failing to block, which means Staff does a knife wound damage, which is 2 points of damage to him, and they both go tumbling down to the ground. Whereas Jane will run out and pick up the guy's hunting rifle. So she's going to run out and pick up the hunting rifle. And then check it. So the equivalent of clear a jammed firearm. So he's going to pick it up and check it's loaded. And she's not going to be able to fire him, but that's what. So that was Staff, that's Jane. The guy did a block, so the guy has one action left. So the guy is going to attempt. So the guy will, I think to draw his knife would be a fast action, wouldn't it? Yes, because I think we did that with the grenade. So he will attempt to draw his knife, or he will just get to his feet. So he will attempt to push away, which I think is break free. So he's not really grappled. So he's going to attempt to break free to get to his feet. He gets one hit. Staff will use one of his fast actions to stop him from getting to his feet. Failing. So the guy gets to his feet and gets a kick on Staff in the process. That is all the points of Staff. So Staff would be damaged from that, and Staff was unable to block, using at 1 point, which means Staff becomes winded because all of his hit points have been used up, which means that now Jane is the only one in Jane might just shoot this dude. So that was the end of that. Now we're on round 2. Staff is winded because he's incapacitated. Jane, who checked the rifle was loaded, made sure everything was fine, is just going to raise the rifle to her shoulder and just shoot the hunter. I think Jane has had enough of all of this. So she is going to shoot the hunter, which will let the other hunters know where he is if she kills the hunter. Jane is going to have a D12, D10. She doesn't get her +1. He is in close range, so it's active, and so that drops it by 2, which is a -2, which goes a D10, D8, and Jane will fire, getting 2 hits in the guy's torso. So she just goes for a centre mass hit. A hunting rifle is a 3 damage with a crit of 4, so she does 6 damage with the 2 hits. No, it's not, is it? It's 3 plus the +1, so she does 4 damage to his centre torso. This hunter already had taken 2 hits, and so he is now dead. So she shoots him in the chest, and he falls to the ground. At this point, Staff is winded and not feeling too good, so now Jane will have to do a base medical check on Staff. Staff is going, "Oh, love, why'd you have to fire? Oh, they're going to know where we are, love." So then Jane is going to go, "Staff, I had to take him out, Staff. We couldn't just hang around fighting. He's down, we now can go." And this is when she's doing a medical check or medical roll on Staff. She has a medical of a D6 and she has a D8. I do not think they have a med kit between them anymore. No, they do not. They do have some water and food. Yeah, they have one lot of water and one lot of food each on their webbing. They both have a knife. They have a handful of frag grenades between them. And Staff still has his binoculars. Alright. That means that Jane will take... So Jane is going to attempt to push that, which means she only gets to roll the D6. She doesn't get to roll the D8. And she's going to take... because she'll take stress in doing this. No. So Jane is... Where's... Oh, here it is. Jane takes 1 stress because of rolling that. So if you push a roll that's intelligence or empathy, then you take stress damage. If you push a roll that is strength or agility, and when you roll one of those, you take physical damage. So Jane takes 1 stress. Staff is still injured. So Staff will sit there, catching his breath. He's not really going to be able to move, which means that the other hunters may have a chance to catch up, and they will have heard the shot. So Jane is going to go through the guy's stuff. We will use the Oracle. Let's see if he's got a medical kit on him. Not this going to help Staff, because Staff, we can't roll again for this, but we might do next shift. Does he have a medical kit? Club, which is a no. The next one would be, how much ammunition does he have? Club floor, not very much. So we'll say he has, so 3 rounds have been fired out of this gun, which means that there are 2 rounds left in it. And we'll say on his person, he has a D6 worth. He has 2 more. So they have 4 rounds for the hunting rifle and Staff's pistol, and they're waiting here for the day shift, which would mean that by evening shift, let's see what happens to the weather. Weather is still okay, but it's going to get dark. Let's see if the hunters can track down where they've gone. Their recon is a CC, which is a D8, D8. No, so the hunters have lost the trail. Let's give the civilians a go, which is a D6, D8. 1 civilian has found the trail. Both civilians have spotted some way of tracking where they are. Maybe they've headed towards the sound. So they were 1 square behind. Let's make them. Let's give them a chance to actually one. So they're 1 square behind. So they've gone to there. So let's give them a chance. Yes. Okay. One of them. That's the hunter. Oh no, it's only 1 dice, isn't it? So that's the hunter. 1 civilian. One hunter and 1 of the civilians has caught up. This would be the evening. Staff will get 1 hit point back in the evening, but they're still there. They're still hidden. They would have maneuvered to somewhere else. Let's give staff a survival chance to hide, and then we'll give them a recon check to discover where they're hidden. So this would be the same as hiding the base. Staff gets 1 hit to find somewhere for them. So he's injured, he's not able to move, but he would direct Jane into finding somewhere to hide. And now we might have a fight between, let's say 1 to 3. It's okay. It is the one with the Uzi. So the civilian has the Uzi, and then we have the staff. We've got 4 rounds for the hunting rifle and the pistol. So this will turn into, as soon as they're within shot, Jane can try and take a shot, and then we'll have an initiative order. So we'll have an ambush again, depending on if, so they've tracked us down. We've got 1 hit for that. Then let's see if we can, so we've got a recon of a D8, D8. No, okay, so they have tracked us down. The staff and Jane, who are resting in the forest. Here, we still need to make 1, all we need is 1 more shift. 1 more shift and we can get back to base. And the 2 guys, we can hear them in the forest, so they're basically starting to get to the evening, starting to get dark, and it's starting to go to dusk, as it is outside at the moment. And they're just sitting there. Let's make it what they'll eat and drink during this period of time, which is all the food and water that they have between them. Then they start to hear something coming through the forest. They're hidden, so they're not seen. Let's see if they can spot them in the forest, and then we'll need to give them a survival roll when they move off. I'll need to survival roll if they move off for the night shift. We'll have that night shift, but we're still in the evening shift. So they're definitely in the woods. They're coming towards us. Now let's see if staff can spot them, which will give them a D12, staff a D12, D10 minus 1, minus, well, it's dim light, so minus 1, so we'll give staff a D10, D10 to see if staff can spot them in the woods. Staff gets 1 hit. Would they be hiding? Maybe. Give them D8, D8. They get 1 hit. All right, let's give Jane a chance. D8, D8 for Jane. Oh well, yeah, D8, D8 for Jane. Let's just give D8, D8 for Jane. 1 hit, 1 hit. So we know they're in the woods. They're not really spotting. Okay, so at the moment we can't really spot. Can we spot each other? If they're moving stealthily, so they haven't found us. but we can hear them in the forest, but we can't see where they are. Would they just avoid us? Could we avoid each other and not need to have a conflict? No, I want them to have a fight, just to round it out. Okay, Oracle. Basically, if it's a red high level, then the hunter and the civilian are going to be going through the forest, and they will come out somewhere else. We'll give them a survival roll, and we'll see if they can come out moving towards, say, Ostresov. Otherwise, they're going to get lost and wander off. That's if it's red. If it's black, then they might stumble upon us. But again, we might give them a survival roll. It's black 10, so they stumble upon us. We'll give them a survival roll to see if they... so their survival is a CC, D8, D8. They got 1 hit. So they stumble upon us, we stumble upon them. There is no ambush, we will just roll straight initiative. So no one gets to ambush anyone else, because we all are aware that we're close by, and they stumble upon us, and then we'll have just between the hunter and the civilian and Jane and Staff. We will just have a bit of a shootout in the woods, manoeuvring around. Staff has got his 1 hit point back. They're really getting there. So Jane on a 3, Staff on a 7, them on a 9. They're stumbling through the woods. We see them, they see us. Rifles come to bear and shots fire off. Jane is going to shoot the guy with the Uzi, thinking that he may be the most, be able to cause the most damage. We will have Jane we will use a fast aim to aim, which would then give her a D12 and her D10, although it is dim light, so that's a D10. D10. Where's my other D10? There. Which gives a dim light, which is D10, D10, and we will leave it at that. Unless we're going to say the trees are going to cause problems. No, we won't. Jane gets 1 hit on the guy with the Uzi, doing 3 points of damage on the guy with the Uzi in the chest. They don't have armor anyway, so it doesn't matter. So he gets 3 points of damage. He's got he succeeds on his cornice under fire roll, which means he will be able to shoot back. Staff will then take a pistol shot, so that's, she's got 3 rounds left. Staff will take a pistol shot at the guy with a hunting rifle. He has a rate of fire of 2, which gives him 1 dice. He has a D10 and a D8, which drops by 1 to be a D8 and a D8. He does 1 hit on that guy, which is his pistol is 1 point of damage on that dude. He has a D8 for his cornice under fire. He fails, so he ducks down. So Staff shoots, Jane shoots, Staff shoots, the guy ducks, he ducks down. The guy with the Uzi, who is the civilian with the Uzi, he is going to empty everything. We've got a rate of fire of 4, which means we get to roll 3 dice. He will return fire to where Jane is. He has a range combat of CD, which will be a DD because of the dimness, which is D6s. There's misses, doing 12 rounds. So he's expended 12 rounds out of the Uzi, which has a magazine of 32, and he wouldn't have had time to grab anything else. So that would be, so bullets come firing into like around between where Jane and Staff are. The bush gets shattered and the noise goes up. Then we come back round. Jane would. What's Jane gonna do? Is Jane gonna Jane would see if she's better off taking an aim. Slow aim. No, slow aim would be a proper full turn. So she is going to prop herself against one of the trees, take a good aim at the guy with the Uzi, and pull the trigger, and hopefully finish him off. So that's her D12, D10, going to a D10, D10. No rate of fire change. Doing one hit, which then is, so one hit being 3 points of damage, killing the guy with the Uzi. So the guy with the Uzi goes down. The other hunter, he couldn't do anything because he had the cornice on the fire, but because his friend goes down, we won't make him do a cornice under fire. We then have Staff fire. How many shots did he just fire? I can't remember how many shots that was. Staff he had a rate of fire of 1, so we'll call it another 3, which is 6, which means the back magazine holds 13. Staff will fire again, being a D8, D6, if I remember rightly. Yeah, because that drops to 8, that drops to, no, that D8, D8. And D8, D8. So Staff will shoot at the hunter, missing, doing three rounds. 9. He can push it. It's a physical one. He's got one. If he rolls a miss on these, the gun will jam or backfire, and it's not going to be very pretty. I mean, Jane can get him back up, but as long as he kills him. All right. So Staff is going to push it. Oh, don't let me down, Staff. Oh, good lad. So instead of expending 3, he expends 5. Basically, we'll say he empties it. By pushing it, he empties the magazine. But he gets 2 hits, which is a crit. So that's 1 point damage. Plus 1 is 2 points damage. The crit threshold is 2. Hits him in, well, the arm. Oh, hits him in the arm, which severs an artery. And the guy is down. Right. So everything goes quiet. They hunker down. Neither of them got shot. They will collect the Uzi that basically has 20 rounds left. So they have an Uzi, and they will take the rounds from the other hunting rifle, where we'll say he only has 2 rounds left. So Jane now has 5 rounds for the hunting rifle, and they will make a survival roll, and then on the night shift attempt to head back to camp, and we will leave them. I don't know how long this one's going to end up being, but if they get back, we will leave them back at camp. Now, one thing that the Staff didn't manage to do was he didn't kill the Mad King. The Mad King got injured, but he didn't get killed. So the Mad King, I'll have to work out how much recovery time the Mad King has, and then he will recover, and then he's going to come out in force and attempt to find these people. We do have 1 civilian who got left over, who knows where they were last time, which is into these woods. So we need to set a drama clock, which I think we had one going anyway because of the Captain Jacob, like Commander Jacob in Estresov. So we've got people in Estresov who knows there's some people around here. Now we've got the Mad King who knows there's some people around here. I think we're going to have two groups are going to begin hunting for the team, and they're going to, so as soon as they get back, if they manage to make their survival roll and get back tonight, I've just thought what we're going to do. We'll do that now. So I don't think they would have, so the hunter might have ammunition on him because there was the pistol. There was a pistol as well, because the one with the Uzi had a pistol as well as an Uzi. So we also have a pistol, which is a police pistol, and a full magazine of ammunition, 17 rounds of ammunition. So Jane might take that as well, which we'll write down. So let me just write this down so I don't forget. That was a complete failure for Staff and Jane. They are badly injured and they're going to have to head back. So for Will, I am now going to make Staff make a survival roll. If he passes in the night shift, they're going to get back to camp. If he fails, they're going to get lost. It's only one square between where they are and where they need to be. So Staff is going to make a survival roll. I didn't use any of it. He could have used his binoculars to boost his recon roll. So we've got a D12 and a D8 for Staff's survival. Yes, there we go. Will, he isn't lost. So night shift, he will come back to the base. Now, we will say that Doc and Jack have already questioned the prisoner. I don't know how that went because we haven't done that yet. We'll do that next session as a flashback. I'll write that down. Flashback to interrogate. Right. Staff follows the signs that he understands and finds the camp. Basically, they are battered and bruised. Staff has reloaded his pistol on the way. Let's get rid of one of his HP reloads. He has a full magazine and 2 reloads for the HP 35 left. Oh no, he has 3. Oh no, that is the HP 35. He has 2 spare magazines and the one which is in the HP 35. All of the weapons they have left need to be checked. I think there's a spare shotgun knocking around, but we'll work that out. I'll work out what's in the camp and then we'll say what it takes. They burst into the camp. Doc looks surprised. Jack, Jack would be the one who was on watch. Let's see if Jack makes a check, and then we can have Doc will do medical on them. So where are we? US Army mechanic? He was on recon. D12 D8. D12 D8. Yeah. Jack goes out. That's a really good roll. Jack goes out. I think that's the max he could roll. I think that's the maximum number of hits that he could possibly get. Jack sees them and goes out and helps Staff, who's not looking too good, on his feet, and Jane, and helps them back into camp. As they get into camp, all right, we've got to pack our stuff up and we've got to go. We've got to pack as much stuff as we can in as much kit as we can, and we've got to start moving now. That went tits up badly. We got a shit. What's he doing eating? Alexander would be sitting there, bonds off because I've just eating. Staff will draw his HP and he will just shoot the prisoner in the head. We're off, and then he'll start packing up, and that is where we will end. We will do the interrogation next session, and we will see what Alexander says to Staff and Jack, says to Doc and Jack, and then we will have them begin their trek out of here, being chased by 2 groups, 2 factions who they've annoyed both of them. All right, that was quite fun. Like normal, I wasn't too sure what was going to happen. Several people said in the comments that that was a very dangerous move going into the village. You were so right. Oh, I won't do that again. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I very much enjoy Twilight 2000. Very, very much enjoy it indeed. I think this, as I said, that's our 15th session. I think I'll take this to 20. And then we'll see what happens. But we'll come back to it. But I think we'll do 20, and then we'll find something else to do for a bit, and then come back unless you complain. But thank you very much for joining. Thank you for subscribing if you subscribed. Thank you for liking if you liked. If you haven't subscribed or liked, why not? It's easy. Come on, just hit the button. And what I'll do is I will see you next time. Have a good week. See ya. Bye bye.